South African Grand Prix. We're here in East London at the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix circuit for rounds 5 and 6 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Well, after 3 days of torrential rain in East London, the sun is shining, the track is still wet in places, and the outfield is like a swimming pool. The man who made the most of conditions in qualifying for Heat 5 is last year's champion BP Nissan driver Janelle de Villiers in car number 1, who leads the championship after 4 rounds from BMW driver Sean van der Linde and fellow Nissan driver Englishman Mark Peters. Top privateer in 6th is Marco dos Santos, but it's de Villiers in pole for round number 5.
Yeah, I must say the conditions here are not very good, although it's better at the moment, but yesterday in qualifying it wasn't very good at all. The problem is with the rivers running across the track on about 3 or 4 spots on the track, and it's very difficult because you go out on slicks and you hit those wet patches and you actually got no control over the car for about 20-30 meters, which actually makes it very dangerous. So it's very tricky to keep the car on the road and especially in qualifying, just to try and get in a good time. But in the end we managed to get a good time in, and I'm really pleased that we're on pole.
Beside de Villiers is Anthony Taylor. He's not necessarily a fan of being at the front, though.
Yeah, look, front row is not always the best to be in a rolling start for 2 reasons. One being that you get a weight penalty, and the other reason being that we have to be the pace setters of the start, and everyone else can really dictate the pace of you. Slipstreaming and that, with it being wet weather, I don't think it will play such a role because you can't get too close, then you can't see with the spray and all that, So at the end of the day, I think you just have to really make the most of it in the wet weather and see what you end up with.
Team Opel come to East London with 3 weeks of engine development behind them, and the hard work of Opel Motorsport's tuning expert Dave van Jaarsveld paid off, with Sean Watson-Smith taking pole position for round 6.
Yeah, look, halfway through the session I came in and we were wondering whether to settle for 3rd or try and go for the pole, because knowing we get the 50 kilos, but having got the 50 kilos, I'll take it again just for the excitement and for the pleasure it gave the team. It was just fantastic, a real reward for all their efforts,
Well, as you can see, this is what it looks like on the side of the circuit, but fortunately the rest of the track is absolutely dry. There's no water on the track, but if they do go off, they're going to need a skier behind them. Janelle de Villiers on pole once again. He's on pole so many times it almost gets boring, but from that position he's got a good chance of winning. Okay, in 2nd place, the brilliant Anthony Taylor. First time in the front row, the good from him. Certainly a possibility of winning this race today. Then in 3rd place, Duncan Foss, the 2nd Nissan driver. He can't be happy with being back on the 2nd row. Even though it is his teammate who's in front, so there won't be too much of a problem. And then in 4th place, Michael Briggs must be absolutely ecstatic with his 4th position. He's ahead of his teammate Sean van der Linde. He's been driving brilliantly the whole weekend. This is a man with a slipstream that takes place this circuit who's capable of winning. Next to the 2nd BMW, we've got Marco dos Santos, the privateer, who is running in one of the Primeros for the first time this weekend. And again, with a slipstreaming, anything is possible.
So de Villiers 0.6 of a second in front of Taylor, but the next 6 cars qualifying within 1 second. In 10th, Henny Groenewold standing in for Terry Moss, who was injured in qualifying when he was knocked down by Janelle de Villiers. So they come up to the start of round number 5 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series, and it's Janelle de Villiers in the BP Nissan edges ahead of Anthony Taylor in the Engine Audi as they go down to Potters, the fastest part of the circuit, as we see in car Marco dos Santos in the brand new Valid Value Nissan Primera. They're going through Potters and they head down towards Rifle Range, the fastest 2 corners in South African motorsport, as Marco dos Santos chases the back of the Sassel BMW of Sean van der Linde. Through the water that Janelle de Villiers was talking about, they head down the fastest part of the circuit to Cochabana Corner. Hard on the brakes, 2nd gear, right-hand turn. It's de Villiers, Taylor, Foss. First of the Sassel BMWs, Michael Briggs. He heads behind Foss as they head down the beach straight towards the slowest part of the circuit. Into Gate Corner they go. It's de Villiers in the BP Nissan. The Engine Audi of Taylor. 2 BMWs followed there. There we have our first view of Marco dos Santos, the privateer, followed by the Opel of Sean Watson-Smith. Through the Cox Corner, this is the slowest part of the circuit. Then a right hand into sweep We see Henny Groenewold, followed by Silvio Scribanti. And Scribanti standing in for the luckless Dion Joubert, who had his appendix removed on Wednesday, coming up the hill to Beacon. De Villiers, Taylor, Foss, Watson-Smith in there. We're back in car with Marco De Santos. He's got Watson-Smith on his left-hand side. He's van der Linde in the BMW directly in front of him. Lap 1, we see the two Sassel BMWs, Marco De Santos, Watson-Smith, and there's Scribanti in the second Opel. Back down to the fastest part of the circuit, Potter's Pass. We're with BMW driver Sean van der Linde. Following his teammate Mike Briggs, they go through the fastest part of the circuit. Two lovely BMW 318s, the new series, through the water again and through rifle range. Down again to the slowest part of the circuit. They hit the brakes here from about 200 k's an hour into about a second gear corner and back onto the straight once again. It's van der Linde as we're looking from the car of Marco De Santos. So De Villiers heads the field into the complex for the second time. He takes the right-hander. We see in car again with Marco De Santos, and Watson-Smith just goes through on the right-hand side. The Opel's looking a lot more competitive for rounds 5 and 6 down here at the Grand Prix circuit in East London. Through the complex once again. Slightly off the circuit there was Watson-Smith. He's chasing the two BMWs as they come back along the back straight for the second time, and it is still De Villiers, followed by Engine Audi driver Anthony Taylor, and then Duncan Foss. Behind him, two BMWs, an Opel and a Nissan, and it's Sean van der Linde right up behind his teammate Michael Briggs. Come on, Michael, keep it going, and Sean's missed the gear. He's got the Opel of Sean Watson-Smith behind him as we go on to the Pro Cars. This is the new series within the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Here's Davi Joubert in the Honda Ballard, and bringing up the rear, Brian Martin in a Corolla, and there's ex-Group N star Colin Hasty in a brand new Nissan Primera. Back to the head of the field, it's still the Nissan Primera of De Villiers, Taylor in the Audi, and Duncan Foss having a go at Anthony Taylor, the youngster from Krugersdorp, Anthony Taylor, and he's having a better time in East London at Kyalami. Two accidents in the first lap of both races, but it looks a lot better for the Engine Audi driver this time. He's got Duncan Foss right up behind him. Foss having a look on the left-hand side, ducks inside through the S's, and they go into the Cox Corner here at East London Grand Prix circuit. We're in car with Duncan Foss. Oh, Taylor gets it slightly out of shape there, hitting that water once again. Bear in mind, these are slicks that they've got on the cars, so once you hit water, you're all over the place. Up the hill, through the back straight towards Beacon Bend, another slow corner on the circuit. They slam it down into second gear. It's a right-hander as they head, and Foss has done it. Foss through on the inside of Taylor. Lovely driving position there, and Anthony Taylor not happy with that as he follows Foss across the start and finish line for lap 3. Briggs in the BMW. There's Marco De Santos. He's got in between Briggs and van der Linde. The two Audis going through there, and then there's Byron Buerta. Not a happy man in the Nissan there. Has a look, shuts the door. And Colin Hasty, well, he swaps horsepower for manpower. He's going to find it hard to get out of that rough. Lap 4 into the complex once again. It's still De Villiers, Foss, Taylor, Briggs coming under pressure from Marco De Santos in the new Nissan Primera. We're with Marco De Santos. He's behind Michael Briggs. Still a bit of water on the side. Brakes on, left-handed. De Santos right up against the Sassel BMW. Sassel BMW have not had a good time here. Although they're qualifying well, they seem to be going backwards. De Santos on the right-hand side as he attacks Michael Briggs. We're looking at De Villiers, Duncan Foss, Taylor, Briggs. Where's De Santos? He's there. He's cut inside Briggs, and Sean van der Linde right up behind Briggs, his teammate, as they come across the start and finish line. To finish lap 4, they're heading towards lap 5. De Santos, Briggs, van der Linde, Watson-Smith, Peters, Aberdeen, Groenewold, and Silvio Scribanti. And Colin Hasty, after being stuck in the mud more than half a lap, takes the new Pro Car Primera back to the pits. We're back into the complex again. We're looking at Marco De Santos, followed by the two BMWs. There's Sean Watson-Smith up right behind him, winner of race number 4. There's Mark Peters from England. He is following Sean Watson-Smith in the Petronas Opel, who's having a look at Mike Briggs on the left-hand side, and he's through. Michael Briggs seems to have a problem there. He's let Peters through as well. It looks like Michael Briggs slows down. 2 Audis go past him. That looks like the end of the race for Mike Briggs. Here's De Villiers, Foss, Anthony Taylor, the privateer Marco De Santos, the lone BMW of Sean van der Linde, followed by Sean Watson-Smith. And Michael Briggs heads back to the pits. What looks like a gearbox problem. The marshal tells him to slow down. He's not going a lot faster. We're back at lap 7 into the complex. We look at De Santos, van der Linde, Watson-Smith, Peters, the 2 engine Audis of Chris Aberdeen and Henny Groenewold. We're back in car with Sean van der Linde, who seems to have found a box full of neutrals. Like his teammate Mike Briggs, it seems a gearbox problem has caught the BMWs out today. Always strange, we see one car go out and then his teammate within a couple of laps. As in Grand Prix racing, they both got the same problem. Henny Groenewold, well, Henny misses his braking point and goes for a bit of a swim here at the Mercedes-Benz circuit in his engine Audi. He's going to get back onto the track, but losing a lot of time. No traction whatsoever after the rain of the last few days. Through Potter's Pass once again, De Villiers, Foss, Taylor, De Santos right on his tail. Marco De Santos having a fantastic season already. He's got his new Primera through the water again at the rifle range. As I was saying, the new Primera has come to him for this race and he's really making the most of it. Hard on the brakes once again for Cochabana. We're in car with Marco De Santos following Anthony Taylor in the Audi. Along the beach straight, you see the flags on the right-hand side blustering the wind off of the Indian Ocean. Here's Chris Aberdeen. Flat front tyre on his engine Audi. His race is over. Left-hand side. Well, into the left-hand corner. Marco De Santos once again chasing Anthony Taylor. The young Krugersdorp driver having a brilliant race today. He's in third. He's chasing the 2 Nissans through that water once again, making the race that much more difficult. A flash of the lights from De Villiers and Brian Martin moves over in the Toyota Pro car. De Villiers through. Here we're in with De Santos. He's having a look on the outside this time of Anthony Taylor. Dives back on the inside and they're back down the start and finish straight. He moves again to the left-hand side. Taylor's on his right-hand side. They're coming across the line on lap 10 and De Santos got past him. We look in car with Marco De Santos. He has a quick look across to see if Taylor's still there as they head towards Potter's Pass, and Taylor is still there. He's just tweaked in front of De Santos as they head towards Potter's Pass, the fastest part of the circuit, over 200 kilometers an hour. We see Taylor, he goes past Brian Martin, as does De Santos as he squeezes through on the rifle range corner. Lap 10, De Villiers, lights are blazing, followed by Duncan Foss in the second BP Nissan. They've gone past David Joubert in the Honda Pro car, and Taylor and De Santos still at it again as they head towards the main straight. Taylor in front once again. De Santos we're in car with. This seems to be a replay of what we saw last time. De Santos is going to move over to the left-hand side. Anthony Taylor on the right. They're coming up to back markers very, very quickly. What's going to happen here? De Santos has just squeezed through. Gosh, what a move from Marco De Santos. And this time he makes it stick, joining the other 2 Nissans at the head of the field. And as we see them coming towards the checkered flag for round number 5 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series, De Villiers and Foss, BP Nissans 1 and 2, and there's Marco De Santos in 3rd position. 4th position in the engine Audi, Anthony Taylor, followed by Sean Watson-Smith, Mark Peters, and in the second Opel, Silvio Scribanti. First place privateer Marco De Santos is well pleased with his first race in the Nissan Primera.
Great result. The team did a great job to finish the car. We haven't had much practice. The first time I stepped in the car was in the first qualifying yesterday because of all the rain here today. So it's still a learning curve for us, but I'm getting more and more comfortable in the car, and as you can see, I'm getting quicker and quicker.
Pouring rain and absolutely fantastic. We've got Sean Watson-Smith for the first time in the Opel this year in pole position. Remember that Opel were out of motor racing, we're out of touring cars for a couple of years. They're back in again, and only in their 3rd race meeting they've got pole. So Sean Watson-Smith in pole position. Second, another unbelievable story. Henny Groenewold yesterday came to the track to drive a Polo Cup car. Terry Moss got hurt, and so he's actually driving Terry's car. And what did he do? He put it in the front row of the grid, in the wet as well. So obviously Henny's a great wet weather driver. 3rd place again, Michael Briggs ahead of his teammate. As I said earlier, he really is having a wonderful weekend in terms of the practice. The race, unfortunately, the first race, they didn't have much luck with their gearbox, but nevertheless, BMW in 3rd place with Michael Briggs, and then 4th place, Sean van der Linde, his teammate, Certainly a car with the speed to win this race. Whether or not their reliability problems are taken care of, we're going to have to see in a moment.
Well, from having an underpowered Opel for the first 4 rounds, Watson Smith gives his team a great boost with their first pole of the year. You see in 5th place Silvio Scribanti. He's standing in for normal Opel driver Dion Joubert, who had his appendix removed on Wednesday. The cars come towards us for the start of round number 6 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Watson Smith on the left-hand side in the Petronas Opel, and he's made an absolutely storming start. He's got 4 or 5 car lengths already on Henny Groenewold in the Audi. The 2 BMWs right behind Groenewold as they go through Potters for the first time. It is Watson Smith, Groenewold, Briggs, van der Linde. There's the first of the Nissan Primeras, and there's Mark Peters, winner of heat number 4 at Kyalami recently. We're in car with Duncan Foss in the Nissan Primera. He started on 7th on the grid. He's back behind Silvio Scribanti as they go into Cochabana for the first time. De Villiers runs wide, lets Scribanti through. Duncan Foss is right behind him. And Groenewold also demoted at Cochabana. The 2 BMWs, they've got past him. So Groenewold in the engine Audi from 2nd down to 4th place. A gaggle of Nissans bring the cars into Gate Bend for the first lap, and this is really what the crowds have come to see. Touring cars in South Africa at its best, and TOCA, the Touring Car Association, have really had strong words with the drivers after the first 2 race meetings at Kyalami. Settle it down, lads, let's see less accidents, and this is really touring car racing at its best here at the Grand Prix circuit at East London. Watson Smith maintains his lead as he comes for the first time into Beacon Bend. Michael Briggs in 2nd, van der Linde 2nd BMW. Henny Groenewold demoted to 4th place. He was 2nd on the grid as they head down the main straight for the first time. Lovely position for Sean Watson Smith. The Opel team must be very, very happy with that. We see a gaggle of Nissans coming through as well, and there's Silvio Scribanti in the 2nd Opel. They're heading towards Potters Pass, the fastest part of the circuit, a very, very fast right-handed bend. There's Watson Smith pulling out a massive lead within the first lap from Briggs in the BMW. Foss has a look down the inside of Groenewold. He looks like he's going to take De Villiers with him. We're in car with Marco de Santos behind Mark Peters, the Englishman who won round number 4 at Kyalami, as they head towards Cochabana for the 2nd time. De Santos keeps it out wide. Peters still in front of him. And they're down the back straight once again. The BMW of Sean van der Linde follows his teammate Mike Briggs. And this really is a great race. There's Foss, last year's champion De Villiers. He's already won once here at East London this afternoon. He's going for a 2nd win, of course. Lap 4, it's still Watson Smith in the Petronas Opel, followed by Mike Briggs. De Villiers on a charge. He's 3rd now in front of Sean van der Linde. And it's Anthony Taylor in the engine Audi who's up to 4th as they head towards Cochabana. Lovely afternoon sun as they hit the fastest part of the circuit and then slam it down into 2nd. There's smoke. Who's that? It's Michael Briggs. Michael Briggs is off at Cochabana. He has a look in his mirror. Michael, you've lost 5 places and there's more coming behind you as they come down the beach straight. It's Watson Smith, De Villiers, the BMW of Sean van der Linde, and then they're 3 abreast coming into the gates. Who's going to get through here? We're in car with Duncan Foss. Anthony Taylor in front, and De Santos goes through. Demotes Duncan Foss 1 more position. Foss now in 6th. De Santos. We're looking from the car of Duncan Foss, and that water's still staying on the track. It's been there all day. In fact, all week. Taylor hits it again. He's out of shape as they head up towards Beacon Bend, which is where we find leader Sean Watson Smith in the Opel. 2nd, Janelle De Villiers, and they're still dicing it out. De Santos, Taylor, van der Linde, and De Santos falls wide. He's off into the swimming pool once again and undoing all the good work that he'd done. He was in 5th position from 10th, where he'd started on the grid. In the Pro Cars, well, George Poseidno leads that race in the development of the new Pro Car Series. Brian Martin in the Corolla, and there's David Joubert in the Honda Ballard. Well, more cars expected in the Pro Car Series when the Touring Car Series goes down to Cape Town at the beginning of May. Lap number 7, we're at Beacon Bend again, and it's Watson Smith who's lost a lot of ground to Janelle De Villiers. I think the weight being a factor, he's carrying an extra 50 kilograms for being on pole position, and with him going out so hard over the first 6 laps, possibly doing some damage to his tyres as well. De Villiers goes past Sean Watson-Smith on lap number 8 of round number 6 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series, and it's Janelle de Villiers for the second time in the afternoon heading up the field. Through the water once again as they go through rifle range. It's amazing the water still stays on the track, but Watson-Smith's not giving up that easily as they come to Cochabana. He has a look down the outside, has another look on the inside, but Janelle de Villiers still there. In car with Duncan Foss, he's in 4th behind Anthony Taylor, going for that 3rd podium position. Going on to lap number 10, de Villiers still there. Watson-Smith behind him. Duncan Foss is past Sean Watson-Smith. Watson-Smith obviously got a problem. He's lost 4th gear, we hear, and it is a 4th gear change down for the final corner as they come into the main straight once again. There is Duncan Foss in 2nd. Watson-Smith in 3rd, protecting his 3rd from Anthony Taylor in the Audi. Englishman Mark Peters, Marco de Santos, the 1st BMW of Michael Briggs. And there's Chris Aberdeen in the 2nd engine Audi. And that is the end of the race for Sean van der Linde. Disastrous afternoon for him out of both races. Janelle de Villiers, lights are blazing through the complex. He's in the lead of round number 6 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Teammate Duncan Foss in 2nd, and in 3rd, Sean Watson-Smith, who started from pole position in the Petronas Opel. He's followed by Anthony Taylor in the 1st of the engine Audis. And that's how it stayed. Janelle de Villiers in the BP Nissan, 2 wins in the day, increasing his lead in the championship, bringing with him Duncan Foss, who was 2nd, and Sean Watson-Smith will be very pleased with 3rd. For Janelle de Villiers, the Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix circuit was most enjoyable.
Both races were very exciting. The second one especially, where I had to start 6th and come through the field. At one stage, Duncan was leading us, was leading me as well, and so it was very good from that point of view, and it was good to come from the back and work hard to get the win.
Well, it's raining champagne for Janelle de Villiers in East London, as Nissan take their lead to over 130 in the manufacturer's points after the 6th round from Audi, BMW, Opel with 50, and right at the bottom, Toyota with 9.